Hi, my name is Bo. I am the founder and CEO of Bulwark XR. We produce the finest VR training for cabin crew in the world, and today let's talk about some concrete examples of how you can train with virtual reality. The post-pandemic world sees a lot of challenges with the recovery of the airline sector, and most of those problems, or many of those problems, are with training. Today we're going to have a deep dive into how VR can help you solve some of these challenges in training your crew in a post-pandemic world. And we're going to use some concrete examples from our customers and how they're dealing with training their cabin crew in an entirely new way. So new situations calls for new solutions, and one of those new solutions is technological and is based on virtual reality. Alright, so let me take you through a training session at one of our clients, Scandinavian Airline Systems. You probably know them as SAS, and what they do to get ready for flying again. So SAS are pioneers in virtual reality training. Together with us, we've built a full training suite. We've trained many thousands of cabin attendants using VR. A normal session has 16 cabin attendants and 2 instructors. And for those, 4 goes into VR rooms and have each their own goggle, and 1 instructor can oversee 4 to 8 cabin attendants training in VR. So what are they training, you might ask? Last year we trained only door drills in the way that the cabin attendant would don their VR goggle and would go through a normal opening of an Airbus 321, an emergency opening of an Airbus 321, a normal opening of an Airbus 330, and an emergency opening of an A330, a normal opening of the A350, and an emergency opening of the A350. And when they completed those 6 door openings correctly, they were done with the virtual reality course. This year we're adding a lot of things like a cabin visit. We've added a fire drill in multiplayer, and we've added suspicious heightened drills. We've added an iOS iPad app where you can train before you actually meet the instructor in the training center. So let's talk about these specifically, and leaning back to my points from the earlier session of training for motor memory, training for repetition, avoiding negative learning, and using evidence-based training to be better. Some of the challenges we're facing with training in a post-pandemic era is people or cabin attendants running out of certification. So having been on the ground for more than 6 months, have not flown a specific aircraft type for that period of time, you run out of certification, which means that everybody needs, of course, their recurrent training, but also a cabin visit, a familiarization course for the specific aircraft model. So we've created Cabin Visit, a VR module where the cabin attendant starts out in an equipment room, locating all of the items, can read what the items on board the aircraft are and how they function, and then are then taken into the cabin, go through each and every object, finding them, getting a little green check mark for every item they find, and that way proving to the instructor that they know where all of the items is. So the instructor can safely say, yes, they know their cabin. This is all done in VR, and I'll show you a little clip here of what that, a part of what that looks like. Enjoy. Another challenge that you're facing is the recurrent training. So in the current training, you need to handle a door, disarm, arm, and repeat the procedure of the emergency situation. There will be many cabin attendants who need this recurrent training in the ramp up to full production again. And the door training is something that we are specifically good at in VR because it's a procedure. You have to go through the procedure in the correct order. We can detect whether or not the cabin attendant knows the correct procedure and can actually perform it. So now I'd like to show you a clip where we open a door and we make mistakes. So we actually do the wrong thing according to the procedure, and I'll show you what the software does to prevent this by taking them back to the drill, explaining to them what their error was, and having them do the entire sequence of events, the procedure, again. So enjoy this clip.
You're standing at door 2L on an Airbus A350. First, listen to my instructions. Thereafter, perform accordingly. You shall, in this practice, open the door in normal mode. Check that the door is disarmed. Check red cabin pressure light. Grab wall-mounted assist handle. Keep eyes fixed on the white warning light. Lift door handle slightly. If no warning light or buzzer sounds, open the door. You can start the practice now. Oh dear. Hold on to the wall-mounted assist handle. You can start the practice now. Training complete. You did good. Well done.
Another challenging thing with the pandemic is that people are home. People have to be home because of the lockdowns. So what can we do with technology that can prepare them to come back into the classroom? For that reason, we've developed our full suite of applications, our full suite of VR applications as a tablet or smartphone app. And I'd like to show you what that looks like, and I'll record my hands doing it. So a full 3D simulated environment, cabin visit on an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device. That is another way of combating the post-pandemic challenges of training. This way, we can have the cabin attendants meet us in the training center already prepared, already studied, already gone through a cabin visit from the privacy of their own home on their own device. Let me show you what that looks like. So I often get asked, what can the instructor see about the training? And I'd like to show you some examples of the statistics we're gathering from each and every training session. So during the training session, the cabin attendant logs in with their employee number, and we store all of the training data on the employee number. And we can see what courses they've taken and completed, what errors they've made. We also make a tally of the amount of times a specific error has been made across your entire organization. And that kind of statistics is what we use in the evidence-based training. So we see where are the gaps in the knowledge of our organization, and we direct the training towards fixing those gaps. And then we rinse and repeat that process again and again. Let me show you some of the screens you can see from the instructor app on your mobile phone or on your PC, or on your tablet for that matter. All right, so what we see here is the instructor screen of the smartphone or tablet app, and the instructor is looking at sessions of training. So for each of these here, you have one session with one cabin attendant, and you can see the operations they've been doing. So the green ones are completely correctly, but you can also see what kind of errors they did along the way, which they corrected themselves. In this case, we have a normal operation drill on the A320, normal operation drill on the A350, and a cockpit door drill. And there were two retries. The retry was that the emergency exit was opened without using the assisted handle. So up here I can set the date, all of the dates I want to see, and after a quick reload, we can scour each and every training that's been performed in that period of time. So here we have a cabin attendant that did 6 drills, all of them completed correctly without a single retry. And we can also look at sort of a compilation of errors. So for this date period, I have a count of how many errors happened during this time. So the number one error that we have right here in this set of drills is that the cabin attendant failed to open the cockpit door within the given time limit. Most likely they don't know the code to the cockpit door, or they some other way failed to open the cockpit door within the given time of the drill. The second most common error for this date range is that the emergency exit was opened without using the assist handle, without holding on to the wall-mounted assist handle. So basically from this I gather that we have 2 gaps in our knowledge here, and 2 large gaps. One of them is every cabin attendant needs to be able to open the cockpit door fast, and we have to train that. And every cabin attendant needs to know the dangers of not using the assist handle when opening the door, and be trained to do it every single time. So these are gaps we would train in the next recurrent training after we've been seeing this data. Getting ready to train after the pandemic is a challenge. And I'm here to tell you today that some of that challenge can be solved by using technology. By using technologies like virtual reality, like using the smart devices that your crew already have, you can train faster, you can train better, and you can train more cost efficient. So with these examples, I've hoped to show you that technology can play a part in getting back to full production faster and better.